Everything's really changed. I mean, I'm starting to notice things around me, learning how to apply the things that inspire me, learning not just how to see a poster and say, oh, that's so beautiful, but learning actually how to dissect it and replicate it and use it in my work and be like, okay, so there's this form here and there's this space here and this color here, and I can actually take that now that I've seen it and apply it to my own work.
I feel like since I've come here, I've really had a chance to figure out what I wanted to do. I started off motion graphics and then visual effects or editing and cinematography, and kind of the accumulation of all that has led me to a point to where I really like to create, be a content creator, and I kind of figured that out here.
This school has taught me the importance of the page and how something looks on the page, and being a spoken word poet, it's very difficult to understand revisions, because in my mind it's never actually done because it's constantly changing, and it's fine if I say it one way here and if I say it a different way here, it's perfectly fine. But I need to understand why this method of literary poetry is important.
My favorite medium is painting, and that's part of like the main part of my work. But I really feel like the medium is the least important thing, and the most important thing is the theme you want, like the subject you want to approach. So if you have the tools to make art and you are going to have like a lot of attention in what you do, you might as well give a substantial message.
I mean, I definitely have learned so much and have had such great use of all the facilities and all of the wisdom of the professors to guide my transformation or understanding of both photography itself and my place in it.
I was one of those people who thought acting was pretending. Like once you do it, you realize that that's completely not the truth. You physically embody someone else. I came off stage one time and I like felt this complete transition because I turned into myself. I realized that I was no longer who I was on stage, and I was like, oh my God, like that's what it feels like. It's just the happiest I think I've ever been in my life.
Working with David is really awesome. David sees things very differently than anyone I've ever really talked to. He's great as a teacher. He points at things and says, can you see that? And he has to do that maybe 8 times before you actually can see it. And so it's really great to work with somebody who sees these things that you've never noticed before.
Well, I've connected with all of my faculty, but Victor Talmadge is the one I've personally connected with the most. He's an actor and a teacher. For me, his point of view on things, it's easier to connect with because I also am an actor and I want to be a teacher.
As a head of the department, it doesn't get much better than Matt Donovan. It's one thing to read all the portfolios and say this person will be a good candidate, this person will be a good candidate. It's another thing to engage with prospective students' work. One of the major reasons why I came here was when I came to the visit day, Matt literally recited my poetry to me. I think we are granted a graduate level of education and attention in my department. We always say we're so spoiled.
The studio arts department with Linda Swanson and Tom Miller and Susan York, they're very interested in what the students are doing. They're really interested in their future, and that is really refreshing.
Linda Swanson's point of view regarding life in general really opened my eyes, because she made me realize that there's a beautiful thing in everything. The process is the most important thing, rather than the final result. And I wasn't used to seeing things like that before coming here, or before having her as a teacher.
Your professors really do notice when you're working hard and when you're not. And they really do know when you've done what you needed to do and when you haven't. It's a family environment that is beneficial if you put in just as much work as you expect to get out of it.
So we live in an age where you can learn anything online. You can learn anything about film or cameras or techniques, but what you can't do is network physically with people and also have gear at your resource like you can at film school here.
You have to learn that you're working and you get to pursue your passion for 4 years. It's the only opportunity within your lifetime that society gives you to really produce a lot of work.
There's great resources for critique and professors leading your process or helping you realize your dreams. You just really have to put your nose to the grindstone and don't be afraid to experiment.